Well, good morning. Today is March 30th. It's Thursday, and it's time for the Blue Water Vicariate Schools video of the day. My name is Deacon John. We have some great holidays today. It's National Doctors Day, so hats off to those people who choose to be doctors to help better and save lives. We also have National Pencil Day. What would we do without pencils, especially when we're trying to do our math or rough drafts for writing? And it's I'm in control of myself day today. And that's an important thing for everybody to remember, that you are indeed in control of your own actions. You make your own choices. And to try not to let others convince you to do things that you're not right. So if you know that something is right, you're in control to make those good decisions. If you know that something's not right, you have control to abstain from being part of that situation and making the right decision. It's up to you because you are in control. Here's some people who took control of a really bad situation and are making good of it. And this video from the Good News Network. Everybody have a great day.
Welcome to the World Changers Weekly Report. I'm Anita Casalina. What does it take to rebuild after the destruction of war? In the Gaza Strip, people want to rebuild, but have found it difficult because of strict borders and very little building materials. But there are two young women determined to help Gaza literally rise up from its ashes. Majd Mashharawi and Rawan Abdulatif are engineers who developed Green Cake, a lightweight, low-cost building material composed entirely of the ash from destroyed buildings. For 6 months, these young pioneers worked tirelessly to create a brick that is inexpensive, soundproof, heat-proof, and environmentally sustainable. And for people living in war-torn areas, it's important that these bricks are made from debris that can be collected and processed locally. But Majd and her team are not stopping with Gaza. They recently won the Japan Gaza Innovation Challenge that gave them seed money and a trip to Japan. On her trip, Majd hopes to meet investors to begin setting up full-scale production facilities around the Arab world. The work of these dedicated women can help the people of Gaza to rebuild, and at the same time, they'll show the rest of the world an inexpensive solution for restoring areas that have experienced war and conflict. For World Changers, I'm Anita Casalina.
This is Franciscan Media's Saint of the Day for March 30th. Today we celebrate St. Peter Regaldo. Every age has its reformer. Peter Regaldo was just that, a monk 15th century conventual Franciscans. His goals for that group were greater poverty and more penance. While Peter led the charge for a return to a more primitive observance of the rule of St. Francis, change was swirling all around Europe. France and England were fighting the 100 Years' War. The Byzantine Empire was about to be wiped out by the loss of Constantinople to the Turks. Columbus would soon arrive in the New World. Peter was appointed head of all the Spanish Franciscans in his reform group. He knew how to lead best by example. He had a special love for the poor and the sick. Miraculous stories were told about his charity to the poor. It is said that the bread never seemed to run out as long as Peter had hungry people to feed. Throughout most of his life, he himself went hungry, eating only bread and water for long periods. Peter was an ascetic and a contemplative who was so in love with the Franciscan ideals that he wished to see them lived out as purely as possible. He died in 1456 and was canonized in 1746. There's more about the saints.
Our verse of the day is from Ephesians. I pray that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of glory, may give you a spirit of wisdom and revelation as you come to know him, so that with the eyes of your heart enlightened, you may know what is the hope to which he has called you, what are the riches of his glorious inheritance among the saints, and what is the immeasurable greatness of his power for us, who believe according to the working of his great power. And our joke of the day: what starts and ends with the letter E, but only has one letter? An envelope. Everybody have a great day, and God bless you.
Hi, I'm Russ Mitchell with a look at this day in history, March 30th. In 1858, Hyman Lipman patented his notion of putting an eraser on top of a lead pencil. On this day in 1870, the 15th Amendment gave black men the right to vote. In 2002, Queen Mother Elizabeth of England died at age 101. The Queen Mum was the most popular royal at home, admired for her fancy hats, and the courage she and her husband King George VI displayed by remaining in London throughout the Blitz in World War II. And on this day in 1981, President Ronald Reagan was shot. His assailant, John Hinckley Jr., had become obsessed with actress Jodie Foster and attempted the assassination to impress her. The president recovered from his chest wounds, and Hinckley was confined to a mental institution. And that's this day in history.